If you could go ahead and introduce yourself.
Well, my name's Janet Hensley, but most of the people related to the AT in some way know me as Miss Janet. I've tried about a dozen trail names, but none of them have stuck, so I'll stick to Miss Janet, I guess.
Okay. And how long, Miss Janet, would you say that you've been involved with the trail?
Oh, in one way or another, since I was about 13 years old, so.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about your hostel.
Opened a hostel in 2000, kind of had an accidental hostel for a little while, and it's kind of where you let strays follow you home, and then they just keep coming and coming and coming.
Right.
So then I bought a home and actually turned it into a hiker hostel that I called Miss Janet's House, and operated for about 8 years.
So for all this time that you've been involved with the AT, how many thru hikers would you say that you've met and interacted with?
I would conservatively say that I've worked with and helped over 10,000 hikers.
Wow. That's impressive.
Yes, I do. Every now and then I'll be in a group setting and I'll ask how many people have been in my van or how many people have slept in my house. And it's kind of amazing sometimes that it's a lot of people and a lot of those multiple times. So
yeah,
that makes it kind of neat.
And then the reason I'm bringing you in here to ask you these questions is because over dinner you brought up a subject matter. Everyone was laughing, but you wanted to bring up kind of a somber point, something that you thought was very serious that everyone should be prepared for once they get off the trail. If you wouldn't mind getting into that a little bit.
Almost immediately when I really got involved with the trail, I'd spend 6 or 8 weeks working with hikers, and as soon as the season was over, I would hit a really, really major depression. And it was like, summer would, the first few weeks of summer would be really hard because I didn't have the stimulation of having all these adults and the conversations going around me and the activity level. So a few years later, when I actually had a hostel and started seeing, several hundred hikers a year and staying in touch with them from the beginning of their hike through till the end, I found out that they were going through a very similar depression when their hike was over. And most of them had not expected it. And for some, it was a very major depressive episode. And, it's kind of the same thing. They were losing the camaraderie of a trail family that they had out here. Just the drop in adrenaline level from the activity of, hiking 15, 16 miles a day every day and, living outside and, just the combination of things. It's, so it's something that I always try to tell people. Just take care of yourself when it's over, eat well, try to exercise, stay in touch with your friends, and don't be surprised if you don't find yourself really depressed for a while, and deal with it, take care of yourself. So.
Good.
And, it makes me sad when, they laugh at me and say, yeah, I'm just ready to be through hiking.
Yeah.
And then, a month from now, they're finished and calling me going, what do I do now?
Yeah.
Like, start planning the PCT next year.
I hear that all the time. Well, as a soon-to-be former thru hiker, I appreciate you kind of giving us some information on that topic, and I hope future thru hikers don't let this dissuade you from doing the trail.
No.
You get depressed because you're coming from something truly, truly awesome. So, but Miss Janet's advice is also very important to hear, and something to maybe prepare for anyone on the trail currently. All right. Thank you, Miss Janet. Appreciate it.
Nice to meet you.